Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Memes of the Week. The best thing you can do for this channel is smash the like button on this video like it's a pre-transition Ellen page, so it reaches a wider audience. But before I get on with the memes, first a word from today's sponsor, Conrad Riker. If you're tired of being told that leadership is toxic, then his book, Winston Churchill, Manly Leadership, Courage, and Eloquence, shows you why Churchill's old school toughness still matters. You'll learn how courage is built through action, how modern leadership training is designed to make followers and not leaders. If you want to lead with strength and conviction, not weakness and apologies, then check out Winston Churchill, Manly Leadership, Courage, and Eloquence. Available now on Amazon and Google Play Books, as well as Spotify. Links are in the description. And now on with the memes. Number one, people say you need to make money and use that money to make more money and repeat. If it was that easy, then everyone would be a millionaire. To do this successfully, you have to work for 15 to 20 years and then invest well to become wealthy. And most people that try doing this lose it all. Plus, if you're living through inflation and paycheck to paycheck, it's hard to get the initial capital to invest your way and escape the matrix. Up next, I can't stress enough how Canada is becoming like South Africa. In South Africa, the government can confiscate your land without compensation. But they haven't done so yet and people are losing their minds. Meanwhile, in Canada, they're already confiscating people's houses and land without compensation, and giving those properties over to native tribes, and no one's even talking about it. I hope the boomers that voted for the Liberal Party have their homes taken away by native Indians. Number 3, do you believe that this is the hierarchy of the modern church? Tradcock preachers tell women what they want to hear and shame Christian men into marrying women and supporting them. Men have the greatest burdens in society, yet these days, we have the least amount of authority over our lives if we want to be part of that society. So this model is going to break. Plus, women take their husband's money to pay the bills at your average church. Moving on, it's crazy how kids are dumb these days and can be lured by free stuff like this. But obviously this isn't about kids unless they're 25 years plus. Just goes to show how gullible men are when it comes to women. They lure us men in with their boobs like kids used to get lured into vans with the promise of free candy. You know, the inflation is bad these days when even the kidnapper van guys have to charge kids for candy that they want to kidnap. Number 5, 76 years later, their love remains the same. I highly doubt that because the old guy looks like he's in pain and he's probably just AI. AI is getting so real that it's able to recreate the pain in men's eyes from marriage. But if he is real, he probably can't remember what he had for breakfast. But he did soil himself, so maybe he can tell what it is from the smell. If this is real, then I would have noticed that they still have their 49 Packard. Up next, Kristen Bell says that she doesn't care if her husband Dax cheats on her. Any woman that's saying something like this is already cheating on her man. I just knew that she was too good in forgetting Sarah Marshall. And it looks like their marriage is clearly a joke. At this point, I'm pretty sure 99% of celebrity marriages are totally planned and organized by PR firms. Or this could just be a publicity stunt so they get some more attention. Number 7, a new study reveals that the more housework a woman does, the less interested she is in sex. Obviously because she's tired. But this could also be propaganda to convince men to do the majority of the housework while expecting that the wife is going to reward them with sex. It's just bait to get men to go easy on their wives. And women promote things like this so they can be as lazy as possible and do as little as possible. Moving on, here's Sydney Sweeney without fake up. You're not a straight man if that's the first thing you focus on. She looks like someone took her swimming on a first date to see how bad her face really is. She looks like the average Anglo woman and her face is similar to the woman I dated in my early 20s for 5 years. My ex also didn't wear makeup, and I wish that she did, but she hated it. As for Sweeney, her time is almost up. She's 28 with no kids or husband, and those chesticles will soon be pointing down towards the floor. Number 9, why do modern women say they feel safer around refugees rather than fascists who don't even exist? It's almost as if liberal women have no survival skills or something. They would rather be raped by a refugee than risk being socially isolated from the collective hive mind. The greatest threat to Western civilization is not external, but it's the threat of liberal white women destroying it from within. It's a good thing we'll eventually have artificial wombs and we'll be able to reproduce without them and watch them go extinct. Up next, speaking of liberal women, here's one and she's a registered dietitian and Twix is her pick. Here's why you shouldn't take registered dietitians seriously. She looks like she needs to go on a diet and stop telling people what their diet should be. She doesn't look like she's ever been on a diet in her entire life. Taking nutritional advice from an overweight person is like taking financial advice from a homeless one. Number 11, Wendy's stock is collapsing, as well as Chipotle's, which is a signal that the consumer is dead. In fact, if you took the AI stocks out of the indexes, we would already be in a recession. As for fast food, it's the same price as fine dining. It just makes more sense to go to a sit-down restaurant instead, and you'll be slightly less poisoned. It's not a bad thing that fast food companies are pricing themselves into extinction. It's good for people's health. Moving on, which body shape do you like? For me, why do I like the boobs on D and the ass of C? I suspect that most guys would take A or B only because they aren't fats. The first thing I always look at isn't the body, but it's the face instead. Guys also pick different women because we like variety. But I suspect that if there was a row of men like this, then most women would pick the exact same dude. Number 13, if you could bring back only one of these, which one would they be? I would pick number 2 and 7. Robin Williams would definitely be my first pick. But I'm offended because where's number 10? Norm Macdonald. I'd bring him back and wouldn't even bring the second person back. On second thought, I probably would have brought Chris Farley back so he could play Rob Ford in the film depicting his life as the mayor of Toronto. Up next, here are some conservative women in the Mar-a-Lago bathroom taking selfies. This is what Christian trad wives look like these days, and Christian simps are stupid and falling for them. Remember that if a liberal from the 1960s came to our time, they would be considered today's Republicans. Being a trad wife today is like being a slut from 20 years ago with no tattoos. I remember slutty characters on Married with Children wearing dresses similar to these. Number 15, if you got kids and you want to prepare them for social media, then just put their art on the fridge and write some mean comments below it. Especially if they're girls, because they're going to need much tougher skin to deal with all the teasing. But I think this is counterproductive because I think that in another 5 to 10 years, young people won't be using social media. Facebook is already being abandoned, and people are tired of living digital life. Moving on, Rosie is upset because Sydney Sweeney has a white dog. Somehow having a white dog is a dog whistle for racism. No pun intended. That really is her dog, though. If they're pissed off about Mr. Woofy here, then they need to see her other dog. It's a German Shepherd. The leftoids will probably claim that it's literally Hitler's dog, and his name is Heinrich. Just kidding. Then again, there's dark fur on his face, so the dog is most likely mixed. Crisis averted. Number 17 looks like the recession has been confirmed because the strippers say it's so. We'll know in the next few months if the markets start to crash. Wish me luck shorting Bitcoin in the Nasdaq. I like living life dangerously. Let's hope I don't get wrecked. There's so much hopium in the air and it makes me weary of the financial markets in general. As for strippers, you just know that the lap dance index is a leading economic indicator. Up next, the IQ of Europeans is dropping due to technology, say researchers. I agree because I see young people addicted to the dopamine they get from their digital devices. At least while growing up, I had to program a VCR computer and make mixtapes. Today's kids are hopeless. They have a hard time playing video games and lack hand-eye coordination. The IQ is also dropping due to all the enrichment, of course. They just won't say that because it would ruin their multicultural experiments. Number 19, this guy married a two-headed woman, and if they get divorced, you just know that they're going to take 2/3 guaranteed. They also just had kids, so that means child support in addition to double alimony. But until that happens, he's going to be getting twice as much head as other men. I also wonder, does this count as a threesome, or is it just considered 2.5? Here's that look you get when you stimulate yourself, but it's your sister that reaches climax instead. Moving on, the Bank of Nova Scotia in Canada is cutting 2,500 jobs, and this isn't across the whole country, just Toronto alone. We're in a recession already, and yet the media and governments won't say that it's true. In the United States, the layoffs were also mounting, but conveniently the government was shut down, so it couldn't tally up the numbers. They call it a K-shaped recovery. The rich are getting richer because they have assets, while the middle class and poor aren't because they don't. Number 21, Trina says, to stay humble because someone's husband today can be someone's wife tomorrow. Yeah, bearded wife. Also, the dude is sitting or standing in a submissive position in both pictures. The guy's wife already knew that he was going to transition. Remember, lady, that some strange man is now smashing the father of your kids in the behind. Why is it that African Americans are the most homophobic, yet also most likely to be the biggest gay demographic in America? Up next, people are saying that both of these guys are fraudsters. Sam Bankman-Fried and Sam Altman both made big promises, and have or had the foundations of a big business, but it ended up becoming a fraud. Sam Altman from OpenAI says that they're planning on spending $1 trillion over the next 5 years to build out data centers. When questioned about how they would justify that when they only make $13 billion a year in revenue, Altman got very angry. AI is a massive bubble searching for a giant pin. Number 23, the Western Canadian province of Alberta is stronger than 6 other provinces combined. That means if they leave Canada, the country is screwed. And they vote next year if they want to explore the possibility of going it alone or joining America. My guess is that Trump wants Western Canada for its resources while letting the mostly liberal Eastern Canada collapse, and he probably welcomes Alberta independence. Moving on, here's just a normal day in India. This anti-corruption bureau official gave an anti-bribery speech and an hour later was caught taking a bribe. I bet his excuse was that he only took the money for research purposes. But seriously, why are they like this? What better place for a crooked cop to hide than by hiding in plain sight pretending to be one of the good ones? Western officials are just as corrupt, they just happen to cover their tracks better and not get caught. Number 25 and the last one, I know that I put these in reverse order in the thumbnail. Sorry for the clickbait. But the question we need to ask is, why did they get so fat in the first place? Is it all the high-carb, low-activity diets and the corporations have engineered food so well that people can't stop eating them once they start? I remember back in the day eating a bag of chips, and I couldn't help myself and I couldn't stop until it was all gone. As for this woman, I don't think it's exercise that got her to lose the weight, but instead a Zempic. So that's it for another Memes of the Week. Please give this video a like to push it up in the algorithm and so new viewers can find it. If you enjoyed this series and want me to keep making it, then donate it to PayPal and subscribe to our links. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.